Does this look like Russia to you, dumb motherfuckers? Somebody called my channel I don't know, a fake channel. Like, I don't live in Russia, dumb motherfucker. Gatorade is fucking gone. Gone, gone, gone. That sucks bad. That sucks real fucking bad. Tell me that's not a fucking prepper thing right there. Right? These people bought out everything but the roasted fucking salted. I will get one. That's crazy. That's fucking wacko. So we literally have like a shortage of peanuts. Nuts. Okay, so this ramble might be long. I'm just going to talk about a variety of stuff. I'll start with what's in the video. That's just a bit of a picture of the grocery store. Some of the shelves have been stripped off. Some of the ones that are well stocked. And the first part where I said, does this look like Russian motherfuckers? Basically, I'm referring to a couple of people, I think, who said I'm basically not an American and I live on a Russian troll farm somewhere. No. I have a regular job and I'm a fucking American. If that looks like that's not from America, then you're dumb as shit. I don't know what to tell you. I have plenty of other videos with American products and I don't know what else is in it. I mean, American tennis tournaments and this. Like, what the fuck? You think I travel from fucking Moscow? You know, I appreciate that there are some people that think I'm some rich Russian motherfucker who travels around and just gets to put up some goofy videos every now and then on vegetables and maybe talks shit to a few idiots. But no, I'm not. Unfortunately, I'm just a middle-class average person just trying to survive like most other people. And I try to call it like I see it. And just because I put up one video where there were some political clips of East versus West political clips, does not mean I'm making up bullshit. That's as it is. As you see those clips portrayed, that is as it is. And I'm merely relating that stuff, which has led up to the present now, and how I think it insinuates what is going on. And essentially, what I think is going on is I think the East and West is getting divided again. I really do. I think we're going back to the days where you had the NATO and the Warsaw Pact alliances. And if you don't know which ones are which, you can just easily look that up. Pretty much Warsaw Pact were pretty much everything east of the Iron Curtain, and NATO was pretty much west of the Iron Curtain. So kind of think of like East and West Germany. I mean, it's all there. And then there's some countries that are kind of like stuck in the middle. I think Finland was not NATO or Warsaw Pact. They wound up fighting off the Russians. And I don't remember where other countries have stood. I don't remember where like Croatia, Serbia, things like that stood. I'm pretty sure Romania was behind the Iron Curtain, so to speak. I know Hungary was. But I think what all this is coming down to is, I think the real at least one of the real underlying reasons behind the vaccine is the fact that they're using it to identify who is from the East and who is from the West. Okay, because China has their own vaccines, Russia has their own vaccines, and you have countries that are kind of like on the fence, like Hungary, for instance, that were initially going with the Pfizer vaccines, and now they're going with the Russian. So it looks like Hungary is tending to align much more with the East. And now, interestingly enough, if you looked at the article in the one video I posted, some of these people from Hungary were not even able to travel, I think, to places like Italy and other places within the European Union because they didn't have the, I think you have to have either Pfizer, Moderna, or AstraZeneca. I think those are the three that you need to be vaccinated with to travel to the European Union. And some of these people got the Sputnik V one or the Sinopharm one, which I believe is the one from China. And that didn't make the approved list. Now, this doesn't make any sense to me, okay? How much do you think two chicks from Hungary are going to matter if they just don't have a vaccine that is great? just a little bit of a substandard vaccine by someone else's judgment, how much of an impact do you think this is going to make? I think almost none. Almost none. When you compare that with what we were doing in the U.S., we're basically saying, like, any vaccine is better than none. This is what they were promoting. And now all of a sudden, if you have a Chinese vaccine, you're not good enough to vacation in Italy? That doesn't make good sense to me at all. And these are people who used to go to certain spots in the European Union every single year. Like, that's just how some people do it. They go down to certain beaches and different things like that and see certain tourist venues with their friends. And now all of a sudden they can't do it. And they said some of these girls were taking, like, trips over to Serbia where they actually had the Pfizer vaccine, that they could get it, and then come back to Hungary and then go to Italy. I mean, what kind of nonsensical rigmarole is this? It looks to me like what they're trying to do is they're trying to say that if you have this particular vaccine on your card, well, then you're from a NATO alliance company. But if you have this particular vaccine, well, then you're from a country that is more aligned with the communist or the Warsaw Pact countries. That's what it looks like to me. I mean, basically, that's what it looks like to me. So I think this stuff is becoming far more about just differentiating who they want to allow in a country and who they do not. I think that's what it's really doing. I could be wrong, but when you look at the reasoning behind it, when you look at the reasoning behind why somebody would just not let somebody into a country who has money to spend, and you're saying, oh, your vaccine's not quite perfect how we want it, or they make up other excuses, we can't let you in. Your money's no good here. That just sounds idiotic. It doesn't even make sense, right? You have a person who's following all the guidelines and it's safe in general. And Hungary had very strict guidelines too. As a matter of fact, Hungary is one of the few countries that was borderline mandatory vaccines. Meaning they had a very strong vaccine push. But now all of a sudden those people, because they got the wrong vaccine, can't come in. That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Just saying. Doesn't make a lot of sense. And so I think it's all political. That's what I believe. It is all political. I don't think it has much to do with anything else at this point. That's my opinion on it. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know everything. Sometimes I miss pieces of information here and there. But everything I'm looking at just says that these people who are pushing this are looking for any excuse to make this political. Interestingly enough, somebody might say, well, how do you know this? Well, because I had interest in moving to the European Union, okay? And I still do. And so I try to learn about, well, what kind of neighboring countries would I get involved with if I move to this area? Because I want to know. Is the country crazy? Are they not? You know what I mean? Like if you move to the northernmost part of I'm not moving to South Korea by any means. I'm not moving to any Asian country. But imagine if you moved to South Korea, but you didn't know that North Korea was north of South Korea. You might want to know who the hell North Korea is before you move very close to the South Korean border near the north. You know what I mean? Just makes good sense. So that's something that I've been thinking a lot about and figuring out some of the history on these countries and what their political policies are. And like I said, it's just not making a lot of good sense. Not making much good sense at all.